Hello everyone, welcome to A Crow in Her Garden. Today is May 23rd and it has been a while since I have shared an update on how everything is doing in my garden. So I'm just going to do a little quick tour just so that I can see the progression of everything. And so I wanted to give an update on my green stalk. It is doing fantastic. I put really good potting mix in here. It's a bag that I got. I think it's Fox Farms Ocean Floor potting soil. And so I've planted all different kinds of basil in the top here. And then I've also planted some bush beans, which have sprouted and some are doing really, really well. But I'm just going to go around and show you everything. This is the lemon basil right here. And I have been judiciously pruning. This likes to flower really, really easily, so every day I find myself coming out here and just picking off new blooms, although the flavor of this one doesn't quite change too drastically. I love lemon basil. I love making tea out of it, or it makes amazing lemonade. You just add, lemon juice and sugar, and then I steep some of the lemon basil leaves in there, and it just makes so refreshing, tasting, very delicious. And here are some of my bush beans. I'm not sure what variety they are, but like I said, some have sprouted and are doing great, and others are just a little behind. But they've all sprouted. I'm so excited. This right here it's another type of basil. This is lettuce leaf basil, that's right. Massive leaves. Look at how big they are. They are delicious in wraps on sandwiches, or I'm even going to dry some of it because I have so much of it. More lemon basil here. So much lemon basil. I love it though. And this is the Mamolo Basil right here, which is just your typical basil, good for Italian food. And I've got another one down here of those two varieties right here. And there again. And then I got more lettuce leaf basil. Just looks so healthy. So good. I got this green stalk for Mother's Day last year. And I opted to try to save some money. And I got some really cheap potting mix to put in here. Nothing grew. It did not do well at all. None of the things that I planted in there, even things that I had started from seed and transplanted into here, they did awful. So if you're going to go cheap on something, don't go cheap on the dirt. So I'm really excited and happy with how well everything is looking in this. And this, believe it or not, is what I just pruned off of all of that basil. So planning to take this inside. My son is going to eat it with some of his dinner, and then I'm going to dry quite a bit of it also. I am really quick going to just do a quick span of the garden from my deck. Got my tomatoes, which I am getting ready to set up my string trellising thing for the tomatoes. Just going to do a quick span. Everything's looking so good. We've had a lot of rain the last couple days, and so it's amazing how much everything grows when it's had a good rain. Yep. So now I'm going to make my way down there so I can let you guys have a closer look. Hang on one second. All right, I'm down here, and that's the garlic right there, which is doing great. I will probably be harvesting that in the next month or so. Really excited. And here my peppers are doing so well. I'm so excited to see how well they are. So this is a jalapeno pepper that I actually bought this start at Ace Hardware. I bought this start at Ace Hardware because I had started some jalapenos, but only one popped up, and I wasn't sure if it was going to do well or not. So I bought this one and planted it, but it did do great. This is my jalapeno. This is a tam jalapeno that I started, and it's doing great. It's doing wonderful. These two peppers here are Poblano. They are looking good also. This is another lemon basil plant, and would you believe that this is just like, this is one plant. I got to prune this a little bit too. And my cucumbers are just doing so great. They're getting tall where I'm going to have to start guiding them up on this trellis so they can start growing up the trellis. These are Boston pickling cucumbers, and it is really very easy to train these to grow up the trellis. I mean, literally all I'm going to be doing is just grabbing the plant and just kind of pushing it towards the trellis. And see, these little things right here, the tendrils, they will grab, and I bet you tomorrow morning if I was to come out here, that little tendril would already be wrapping around this bar right here. And that's all you really have to do to get them just to, you know, coax them to grow up the trellis. Oh, I'm so excited by how much they're growing. They're doing so well. And here, these, I got to do the same with these. Get these to come up the trellis. It's funny how they seem to be inclined to grow away from the trellis. But just me pushing them over here in this direction will get them to come this way instead. So I'll be doing that. I'm so excited about how much they're growing. On the other side there, those are muncher cucumbers. They're a little bit behind the Boston pickling cucumbers, but that's okay. They're growing, they're doing okay. So, and then right there, that plant right there is lettuce leaf basil, which I need to prune that because I can start to see whenever you're growing basil, so easy to prune. You see right here, this is the beginning of a flower, and all I'm going to do is pull it off. You just pick it off. Looks like something's been munching on this guy. Sometimes slugs like to climb up here to munch on them, but I recall having the same issue with my basil last year, and it just took some time, and pretty soon the summer and the heat made the slugs go away, and the basil, there was no stopping the basil. So, I'm just gonna kind of lean these over to go up the trellis. Yep. So, alrighty, coming on around. Got my thyme, which I trimmed back quite a bit. It had flowered a lot, and so I just gave it a haircut, basically. Trimmed a lot off of it, and that'll just make it keep on growing more and more. And here's sage, which I need to continue to cut back all these blossoms, cut back all the blossoms off of them. I want to cut this back so that this basil has plenty of room to grow. I'll take a closer look. Those are celery. I'll get a closer look at those, but I'm so excited to see. These are my potatoes, and they are just doing fantastic. They are beginning to flower, which is wonderful because this is the sign that it is now developing the tubers underground. Now, when the plant starts to flower, that's when you know that it's starting to grow the potatoes. So even if I was to harvest one of these plants today, it would have really tiny potatoes, which is why I'm going to wait. Here, I got all this is okra down here. And then I got sunflowers, which are doing great, although they are leaning a little bit. So I might have to give them a little bit of support. Last year I had issues with my sunflower leaning and it kind of encroached on the okra a bit, but I'll just get a post and just set it up there beside it so it can have something to lean on to keep it more upright. These are my Roma tomatoes down here. Oh, I'm seeing some blossoms. That's very exciting. Look at all those blossoms there. Every single one of those blossoms I'm hoping will be a tomato. These are determinate tomatoes, so you don't really want to prune these, although I do need to offer them support. Probably will use just some stakes to help them stay up straight a little bit more. Like that one. So exciting. Look at all those flowers. These are little blueberry bushes that I'm going to attempt to plant that I got a while back. One more Roma. These are all my sweet peppers. And on this side, this is where all of my California Wonder Bell peppers are growing. They're doing great. I can see some blooms, buds beginning to form right down in there. Yay! I got a little bit of celery. This is kind of an experiment because I don't know if I'm going to get anything off of it, but it's looking healthy. Looking green. And over here, these are pimentos. They're doing great too. One more celery back there. Ooh, it's time to give this guy some support. I can't remember which variety this is, and I should have labeled it, but I can look back at another video and see which variety it is. But I do know that this is a Dad's Sunset tomato right here. Oh, looky. It's flowers. Yay. This is another Roma tomato right here. I had an extra one and just decided to stick it in this little pot right here. And now I really quick wanted to talk about this. This is how I'm going to be trellising my tomatoes. This right here is a Rosella cherry tomato right here. And I am string trellising this year. So this is something that I found online. You buy these, they're called tomato hooks. And it has the string attached to them. And you just find a way to hang it up there. I have it supported with a pole. And then instead of having a rod that's sticking in the ground, you just have the string. And I attached it right there towards the bottom. And then these tomato clips, you can buy them online. They're super cheap. And you can reuse them. And you just, you know, they hold on to the string. So the clip doesn't slide up and down on the string. It holds it fast. And so you're just clipping the tomato plant. Like I would put another clip right here for it to wrap around this part of the tomato. And it'll just grow all the way up the string. You can have multiple leaders on the plant. Like this plant, I am only going to have 2. So this is, you know, one stem at the bottom, but then there was another leader that's here. And then I'm planning to prune all the other suckers off. So this is a sucker. This guy right here. And you actually want to get it when it's that small, because it just picks right off. Doesn't damage the plant hardly at all. Like, see right there? That's a sucker. So I'm going to pick that off. And if I wanted to, I could root this and grow a whole new plant. But I'm not. So, this one right here, which is looking fantastic, is the Berry's Crazy Cherry. Just look at how many cherry tomatoes are on this one leaflet stem right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, it's a tomato. Yay! And see this right here? This is a sucker. And this is what will happen if you don't come out and check and prune them off. They get really, really big. But this, I believe I will let this one keep growing. Have 2 liters on this plant. But that's it. And see, here's the strings that I have that I need to attach to this plant right here. And yeah, but I don't have any clips with me, so I'll have to do that later. I'm planning to do this tomato the same way. I just got to finish getting the rods set up. I know you guys are all over the place. I'm sorry. Here's another look at the potatoes and the blossoms. Woohoo! And here, this is a closer look. This is celery, but this is a different variety called Chinese pink celery. And look, it's pink. I really hope this does well. This one kind of got a little dry, so it's struggling just a bit. I don't know if it's going to make it or not. We shall see. This part is still green though, so it's still able to photosynthesize a little bit. So we'll just see if it makes it. If not, I still have these two, if they even are able to do anything, because I've been told that celery does not like the heat. And it's already gotten into the 90s here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. My dill has come up and it's looking good. This is chocolate peppermint right here. That's a little bit of regular peppermint left. I'm so happy. Here I've got, these are more Rosella cherry tomatoes right here that I gotta trellis. I gotta get them on the strings. I got the pole set up. I just gotta get the strings set up. And these are Amish paste tomatoes. I got some work to do getting these trellised set up. I'm really happy with how well everything is doing. Everything is growing so nicely. I'm sorry about this long video, but I hope you've enjoyed coming along with me and checking out how much my garden is growing. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.